Trading since 2016, teaching since 2021, and dropping bars since 2023. What's good? It's your boy Big Bain in this thing, and y'all see where we at. BBIDF, right? My channel is dedicated to, your everyday hard working man and woman, right? You know what I'm saying? Who really going through it, and they just sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean? They're looking for that way out, and they heard about Forex, but they don't really think it was for them. They don't think they could figure it out. They don't think they could ever, really make any money with it because they think it's too difficult. Well, I take all that complex stuff and I break it down into layman's terms to where you can understand and get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Have yourself a little avenue and a way out. You know what I'm saying? So if that's you, and I know it is, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and I'm gonna catch you on the inside. All right, it's your boy. Peace.
Yeah, I'm really finna give your ass the game, man. You know I break it down. Come on, man, you know it's Bain.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Big Bain in this thing, and check it out. I just wanted to show you guys really quick how to draw your trend lines on your charts correctly. All right, I see a lot of people doing this incorrectly, and when they're trying to utilize the trend line in their strategy, they're using it all wrong. So let me get this. Let me set the record straight for you guys, and get you doing it the right way each and every time, so that you don't mess up your trade opportunities. All right, here we go. So just before you even know how to, where to put trend lines, you need to know about market structure. So basically, you need to know that in the uptrend, you have runs, you have pullbacks, you have runs, you have pullbacks, you have runs, you have pullbacks, etc., right? In this uptrend of runs and pullbacks, you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, and then a higher high. Sometimes this confuses a lot of people, and I see that, right? They don't really get, why are you calling this, or this a higher high, and why are you calling this a higher low? Let me break it down. This is called a higher low because it's a low point that is higher than this low point, the previous low, right? So as we go up, right, and these V shapes are created, that creates low swing lows, okay? If they are higher than the previous one, we call them higher lows. All right, so in a uptrend, again, guys, you have your low, you have your high, right? You have your higher low, and you have your higher high. So as long as price keeps going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, going up, pulling back, you will create more higher lows and higher highs. Okay, it'll just continue to go, right? This is what makes your uptrend, right? So the run, the pullback, all right, that gives you your, the run, the pullback with another run, that gives you your uptrend. Then from there, you just start, creating these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, all right? So that needs to be known first before you even know where to put your trend line. So you got to see this kind of structure or formation happening on the charts before you can even get to the point of creating a trend line. All right, but once you do, right, once you have your market structure that is in a uptrend giving you higher highs and higher lows, now we can get to the trend line in a uptrend. All right, so write it down, guys. In a uptrend, you always connect the lower highs, okay, as best as you can, right? You need at least 2 touches. All right, that's the rule, right? So you need a touch of a low here and a touch of another low here, right? So this one, in this scenario, right, I didn't pull it back all the way to get it to touch this trend line, but we can adjust the trend line, right? All we need to do is touch the swing lows as close as possible, and there you have it, right? That is your trend line. What a lot of people do is they put the trend line at the higher highs in a uptrend instead of the higher lows. All right, so again, if this is you're doing it wrong, okay? Because when you're looking for a market structure change, right, to know that price is now going from a uptrend to a downtrend, it's not going to happen if price breaks the trend line. If price breaks the trend line above where you had it on the higher highs. It's just, that's not a change of character where we're going from up to down, right? That is just continuing to go up. All right. So, you know, people are looking at, you know, these kind of breaks, looking for trading opportunities, thinking that this is going to represent it going in the opposite direction. That is a big no. All right. So, you know, hopefully I've demystified that for you guys just now. But ultimately, guys, all you really want to do is make sure that in a uptrend, when you can see the candles making higher highs and higher lows, not based off of your feelings, right, but based off of what the candles are actually showing you, then you just take a trend line, you put it at one of the swing lows, right, the higher lows, then you connect all of the higher lows. That's it. Now, when you get price to break that trend line, right, now you have a situation where we could be heading in the opposite direction to go and start a downtrend where we make lower lows and lower highs, right? Just like that. All right. So ugly downtrend, but you guys get the idea. All right. So now for the downtrend, okay, again, here is, let's label it out, right? Here's your high, here's your low. All right. So I'm gonna put H and then I'm gonna put L. All right. Now here is your lower high. Okay, this is your lower low, this is your lower high, this is your lower low. All right, horrible writing, but you guys follow me, right? Lower high again, and then it continues. So again, high, low, then you have a lower high, then you have a lower low, then you have another lower high, then another lower low. Bain, why are you saying this is a lower high? Because this high is lower than this high. All of these highs, 1, 2, and 3, they're all lower than this high up here. And each lower high is lower than the previous one. That's why we call it lower highs. Okay, but you got to be able to recognize the candles going in this format, right? In a downward motion or movement to be able to spot, you know, higher highs and higher lows, or in an uptrend, or lower lows and lower highs in a downtrend. If you can get that, then you can never mess up your trend lines. All right, because now in a downtrend, all right, remember in the uptrend we connected the higher lows, not the higher highs. So now in a downtrend we're going to use that same trend line, and now we're going to connect the lower highs. Boom. All right, so again, a lot of people do this, they connect the lower lows. Okay, now when you look at it, this is a channel, right? And yes, at times, you know, we do use like a tool like this, right, called parallel channels, where we can do this, and you know, it'll give us this, because basically that's a trend line going down, and this is a trend line going down as well, because price is in some kind of downward movement like this, right? It's just going from the top and the bottom in a channel in a downward way where we can place the channel. All right, but that's typically not what you're going to do each time you see a downtrend. You're just going to put a trend line where you see fit. So again, guys, the lower highs in a downtrend is where you connect the trend line, because now when you get price to push up and break above that trend line, you go from making lower lows and lower highs to now you made a new high. Okay, because we broke this lower high right here, right? So this is what we call a change of character, meaning that we went from making a downtrend to potentially going to make a uptrend, right? Where we're going to go right back to making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? So what that will look like is like this. You'll get the high, and then you'll pull back and you'll come up. So right here, this low is higher than this low, right? So here was a low, then you got the high, which happened to be higher than this one, right? But it was your first high, right? Not a lower high, all right, but a new high. And now this is your higher low. Okay, so what's that? You guessed it right, your higher high. Okay, and we keep going. Pull back, go up, higher low. All right, and you guys get the deal. All right, so again, these are the proper ways to do your trend line, right? In a uptrend, you connect the higher lows. In the downtrend, you connect the lower highs. All right, now let's go ahead and erase this, and I want to give you guys some examples on the chart. Here we are on the odd JPY, And here's a nice little section right here. So I'll hop into replay mode for you guys and cut it off right there. And now as I'm looking at the structure, let's go down to like the weekly so we can see it a little bit more in detail. All right, and boom, here we are. So guys, all I'm really doing is seeing that candles are moving down. So I'm looking at all of this, right? All of these candles are pretty much showing me that, you know, we're heading in a downtrend. All right, so read the structure. You got your run, got a pullback, you got a run, you got a pullback, you got a run, got a little pullback, got a run, got a pullback. Okay, so what did I say about a downtrend? Right, in a downtrend, we're looking to put our trend line, all right, at the lower highs. Okay, so there it is. Took it from this high, put it at this lower high, put it at this lower high, and put it at this lower high. Right, all those turning, those little V shapes, right, where we turn around and we, you know, we go down. Those are your swing points, all right, is what we call them. So here you can see each one. Okay, boom. So you really have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there goes your trend line. So now we didn't really get a break of this trend line, right, where price went above the trend line. We can extend this trend line out, all right, and it's still going to be relevant for looking for potential opportunities where price is no longer going down, but it's going up. So again, guys, that's what trend lines are mainly used for, right? And all we really need is about 2 touches, right? 2 highs that can touch in that same area. The more, the better, right? Because it'll help you identify a clean trend line. But here is where your trend line would be. So now I'm just going to play it forward. Okay, let's speed it up. Okay, price is doing its thing. Boom, look at that. Now we have a break of the trend line. So this is a situation where we were going down, right? Down, down. Now that we haven't broken this high yet. So typically what we do is put a little level right there to represent, you know, that is a high point. All right, so we haven't broken it yet. So this is just a potential change from going down to potentially going up. That's what the trend line will tell you. And again, if you guys are able to use this, you're going to see, holy shit, this gave me a great indication that price is probably going to start rising and giving you a buying opportunity. All right, so again, play it forward and look, it retested, and now boom, there goes your break. Okay, we broke above that level. So you had a buying opportunity off the trend line when it retraced. So it broke out and it retraced. That's what price typically does. And then we got the break of this high. So now our structure, right, it's very tiny, but we have a run, a pullback, and a run. We now have uptrend market structure. All right, so as we let this play out, there it is. Price starts to rise. Okay, now how ironic, right, that not only did it rise, but let's see, that's the fastest it can go. Okay, come on. Okay, rising. Pushes. There we go. Boom. All right. What I wanted to illustrate was how ironic that as price started going up, it got to each one of these previous lower highs, right? It knocked them all out. This is how we see this enough to know that once price actually breaks that trend line, there's a possibility we're going to go up. But then when it breaks one of those highs and then it pulls back and then the bulls show up, well, there's our buying opportunity, and look what happened. We saw nothing but profit as it took out this high, took out this one, and then eventually came and took out that one. Guys, it's a beautiful thing when you understand what it is that you're looking for and what things are supposed to do. And this is what I teach in my class, all right, in my Discord. I get you guys to really understand what it's about. We don't go off of any guessing. We don't go off of any emotions. It's all concrete, hardcore evidence, by what the chart is showing us. And that's pretty much it, right? We keep everything logical. We try to stack the probability and the odds in our favor, and we pull the trigger, right? We're not stuck on being scared that this and that is going to happen, because scared money doesn't make any money. You guys know that. So what's the purpose of getting into this if you're not going to pull the trigger, right? So that's one. All right, that was an example of a downtrend, right? With connecting again the lower highs, right? We got a break, and then price went and took off and did its thing. All right, so now let's go hunting for, let's get out of replay mode for a second, and we'll go looking for the uptrend. Okay, and here we go. Right, so I see one right here, and I'm gonna give it to you guys like this. All right, boom. So price is once again moving up. We have a run, we have a pullback, we have a run, go sideways, run, a pullback, a run, a pullback. Okay, so the drawing is pretty ugly, but here we have a low, here we have a high, here we have a higher low, here we have a higher high, here we have a higher low, here we have a higher high, another higher high, and another higher low. So again, guys, we're just connecting the dots in terms of structure. Now we take out our trend line, all right, and we place it. If you guys remember what I told you earlier, in a uptrend, we place the trend line at the higher lows, okay? Not the higher highs, the higher lows. So here it is again. We need at least 2 touches. Here's 1 touch, here's 2 touch. Let's go ahead and illustrate it out so you guys really get the picture. All right, boom, right there. That is your 1 touch, okay? And it is acting as support. All right, you guys learn about that, okay? Here's another one, and another one, DJ Khaled. Okay, so we really got about 4 touches. Boom, 4 touches off that trend line, guys. And now I'm just going to stretch it out. Okay, trend lines don't have to be perfect, guys. As long as you can get them to touch, whether it's the body of the candle or the wick of the candle, it's enough. All right, a lot of times we can double up and put 2 trend lines to represent it as a zone instead of a level, right? Or instead of one particular point, right? Sometimes this helps people out a lot, to still see the hidden areas that price is touching when it just doesn't happen to touch that one trend line that you put. All right, so here is the proper way to put your trend lines. Again, not like this, not at the higher highs. Okay, that's not how that works. I'm telling you, if you're doing this, please stop. You're gonna give yourself a lot of hurt, a lot of pain trying to figure things out. All right, it's at the higher lows in the uptrend. All right, so now we're gonna play it. Oh, boom. Now what do we get, guys? Come on now, talk to me. We got the break of that trend line, right? So anytime you break, typically price wants to pull back to the area that it broke. So I'm going to expect that to happen, and then we should fall and start making lower lows and lower highs. Again, it's not all the time, but it is pretty much enough for you to be able to make money when you see these things happen. All right, so let's see what happens. Boom, it got right back to the area that it retested, that it broke. Kaboom, right? Now this is, hold on, hang tight. So now this area is acting as resistance. Okay, so if it respects this, if we get any bears to show up, chances are we're going to start falling, and we're probably going to take out these lows, just like we did in that uptrend, that downtrend that I showed you guys, to where it broke the trend line of the downtrend and started going up, taking out each one of those highs. All right, so let's just see what we get if I let this play out. Oh, went all the way up to the trend line to test it, and now the bears show up, and now price is falling. Oh, took out both of the lows. What do you know? Come on, guys. Like, we can't make this stuff up. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? This is the way that you can make your money if you just understand, and that's just trend lines. We didn't even talk about anything else, guys. All right. So please review this as many times as you need to let that light bulb come on. Please comment down in the comment section whatever your concerns are about when you're drawing trend lines, whether or not you're having difficulty on a particular time frame, on a particular pair, how long you should draw the trend lines, whatever the case may be. I'll break it down for y'all. All right. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all know what it is. It's your boy. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid? Master Forex, like a sensei? Then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward, hit replay.